All right, testing. Okay, that's better. Looks like you don't work. Interesting. Uh-oh. Oh, Mango! Thanks for the raid. I am trying to get my camera to work properly. But we will just go without my face cam today. Right. All right. Oh, I wanted to show you my horoscope themed keyboard. I of course went with Gemini because that's what I am. But yeah, I'm gonna pause the music for a little bit because I'm gonna do some sound tests real quick. But yeah, so this is silent because this is the new Haimu Moonlight Rubber Dome Hall Effect switches. So if you are interested, I don't know that I have any up here, but it's essentially silent. But I was going to take a look real quick at the Tiga. So I'm gonna steal my girlfriend's Tiga. Don't tell her. So this is her build for the Tiga. And I actually won't even plug it in, but this has snow dianes on it, so B-Sun. And these are KCA profile die sub space themed keycaps that she loves. So yeah, it's this is full standard foams. So not the cork, which would make it sound sharper. But this is how she rolls. So yeah. And I don't know. I love it. I think this is a really nice looking keyboard. I don't know what that means. Whatever that means, thank you. I think it was a follow. Oh, and I still have Christmas themes. I gotta get rid of that. Funny. Yeah, no. And like I said, with the exception of, she had some problems when we were doing the assembly of the knob and the screen. That frustrated her, and so I ended up helping her out on the build. But other than that, that was all her. And then to go over some other new switches and keycaps. This is my QK80 Mark II. I just rebuilt it with the Winter Breath keycaps. It's a die subset available at Unikeys. And then I also got the Irish Legends and the Dark Kit. I also got the numpad, but obviously I'm not using that on this. But with these keycaps, I got the new KeyGeek Y3X switches. But yeah, I think the gray unit of the QK, I think it's very versatile. Because I put it with a lot of different colorways, and it really works. But yeah. How's everybody doing today? Oh, put the music back on now. I know we were just talking, and I'm glad that your computer build finally got solved, and that's great. And I hope you're getting food, Mango, if you're still around. But today we are going to look at, well, first we're going to look at the Split 70, and we'll do an unboxing. Find me the Split 70. Oh, there it was. But let's see. Yeah, the Snow Diane, if those are the switches you're talking about, Atomic, they're on clearance over at Unikeys, and you can use my affiliate link, or you can use Mango's affiliate link, and we get like a little bit of a kickback. I think it's 7% on things that you purchase. You can look at my beacons for my link, and I think Mango has hers. But yeah, they're pretty cheap right now. Now the Y3s are also a reasonably priced switch that is available through Unikeys. And these are the Y3Xs. The Y3s are similar, maybe deeper. But I kind of like these, and they're also, the new ones are in a milky housing. I don't have them around here either. This is the Split 70. I'm just kind of jumping in. I'm just kind of going, because why not? So you have the keyboard. You have this card. Now this was sent to me by them, but obviously they're not gonna have any say in what I'm doing. I looked at a few of their boards, and some I liked, some I didn't. So this is the cable that connects the two together. This is a little weird because I'm used to having a camera that faces me that I will use. Braided USB cable, keycap switch puller, and the other star of this particular show. These are the Epomaker Wisteria switches. Stay there. It comes with a few extra with this keyboard. This keyboard is $115. And is a pre-built. It magnetically connects to each other. I didn't realize that until just now. But so this is the Epomaker Wisteria switches V2. V1s were pretty good. And let's get the specs on these bad boys. Need to capture, add source, add new source, add source. Okay. Let's shrink this down a little bit. So yeah, this is the Wisteria V2. It is a 62 gram bottom mount and 45 gram trigger, which is the actuation point. And it's pretty good out of the box. So this is the initial sound. I don't know how to do this with this, but yeah. This is an ABS plastic case. The two pieces, only the left side, this side, will operate independently. Let's go this way. It has a USB dongle here in the back. Let's move this. So in the back here you see it has a magnetic socket, I think. Magnetic socket? No, friction fit socket in the back for the USB dongle. This connects the two sides together. This is the USB-C, and then this will allow you to do wireless. So you can see this side will operate independently. So if you wanted to do gaming and you wanted to remove this altogether, you could just have your WASD here, bring your mouse over here, you've got your macros, you've got your knob here, and you can just go. So, you know, jump, crouch, whatever, however you got it set up. And you got your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, escape. So you basically have everything you need in this side, but then you've got to chat with your friends and talk about how badly the Adept sucks at all first-person shooters. You can just run over here, connect this up. Now you're going to see the second side activate, Now this is good. This will connect wirelessly using this. This is currently set for the 2.4, I think. Yeah, because of the green flashing light. If you switch it to the other side, now you'll see the Bluetooth. This is Bluetooth 1. You can connect up to 3 Bluetooth devices to this. And then you can be like, hey, I'm not any good at this. Guy really is not great at Valorant. So, or typing on a split. I like the idea of the split. Now, some things to note about this. This has a fixed typing angle. So that fixed typing angle is about 7 degrees. Your front height is about 21 millimeters, which that's what it says. Let's see if it really is, because it has a lot of chamfers on the front, so that's got to be measuring from the feet, because I mean, yeah, if you're measuring from the feet, it's 21. If you're just measuring the height, it's about 20. But yeah, I don't know. I just kind of ramble. There are no visible screws, which means that the top is likely clipped on. We can see if we can get it off. Not that way. Don't be weird. To see the foam that fills this thing. Let's see. Can I get underneath? No, no. This is pretty much on there. But it is. I was gonna talk CES, show you some pictures, but we'll keep going with this for the moment. So it is hot swap sockets, 5-pin, south-facing RGB, pretty standard. Polycarbonate plate. It has plate foam, and then it has a PE sheet below that. This is the keycaps. They're perfectly serviceable out of the box. As a matter of fact, the only set that I could think to put with it would be a different gradient keycap set, and I'm like, why would I do that? We'll just keep it going. You have to use the socket marked for the, well, it's on this one. You have to use the socket marked for the link in order for the link to work. Don't use the other socket. It can mess things up, just like on the Asus. Well, on the Asus, it could legitimately break it, I think. So you notice that once it's connected, I can activate the keyboard from this side. Then we're going to switch this back to the middle. Okay. I kind of want to make this into a tactile board. Ooh, what do y'all think? Let's do that. Let's switch that. Okay. So we've got, this should be fun. I picked these up at a meetup yesterday. These are the Glorious Panda switches. Then again, I don't know. These kind of work on here. Let's just put them in, see what they sound like. All right. How about this? No, we're not going to do that. That's just not going to work. That's for something else. That's for something else. I think it's... do I do it? I mean, I like these Wisteria switches. Let's be more decisive. We're just gonna do it. Picked this up at CES. This is a 3-in-1 keycap puller, switch opener from Gateron. I did not get it in the red. Red was a little bit more, and you know, not as good. So yeah, so I got to go to CES thanks to Epomaker, and I got a chance to meet the CEO of Epomaker, which was great. That was fun. She was awesome. I also got to meet the COO of Keychron at their booth. That was also exciting. And they were showing off their let's see, let's add a source. Add source. Now I'm going to need you to forgive the sometimes blurriness of the images. We ended up having a problem. We bought a new camera for the trip, and then we ended up not really knowing how to operate said camera. So we got a bunch of images, and I'll try to... I'm just going to keep a slideshow going. Yeah, so this is the Ugreen booth. Now these are our unedited photos straight from the folder. So there's going to be probably a lot of repeats because you take a bunch of pictures and you go through them and find the best ones. And no, I don't need to do that because I already did that. Now we did not get a chance to go to the Razer booth because it was in the Venetian and you had to have a media pass to go there, and since I was there with Epomaker, I had an exhibitor pass. Not that I was complaining. I was glad just to be there at all. So that was cool. And then flip this around. Now you can just start pulling your switches, which I think is one of the neater things that we picked up. Because it's basically, if this were done right. So these both basically both do the same thing, only this won't scratch your finish. And this has a smaller bottom and just kind of slides in. Works so much better. I mean, obviously you can't include one of these with every keyboard, so this has its place, mainly for people buying their first mechanical keyboards. But you know, once you have your second or third keyboard and you're rebuilding and putting new switches in every day and you're looking for the best thing. Now this is going to be gasket mounted, so I am only going to do 2 rows at a time, or at least I'll do the top 2 rows and then the bottom 3. So that if there is space underneath, the plate doesn't drop down, because if the plate drops down, well actually, let's see, no, we have screws, so never mind, I can take them all out. If they're screwed in, the plate is screwed into the PCB, you don't have to worry about it, because they're connected already. There's obviously some flex cuts. I think I talk too fast on stream. Like maybe I should slow it down some. I don't know if y'all have any thoughts on that. So I had the Split 65, and the seam around these keys very tight, and I had a problem whenever I wanted to change out the switches. just kind of getting in there. I ended up giving that to someone in the community who was just starting out and had some serious carpal tunnel issues, and so I'm like, hey, try using this, and if it works, you can keep it. Because, I mean, Epomaker sent it to me anyway, so it's not like I really needed it. And I try to use splits every once in a while, but I find that I'm not very good at it. I tried the one by Knock Free, and when I put the tent in, it hurt my hand so badly. So badly. You're bent. So yeah, I'll eventually give this away to somebody. Either in the local community or on here if anybody's interested. I don't know. I have a bunch of weird boards that I ask them for. Because part of my whole journey in keyboards is trying new things. So, why are you just showing the same pictures? Let's go back into this. Okay. Let's see if that works better. So yeah, so I like trying new things. I also like giving away keyboards. Which is harder when I pay for them, but when I'm given them, oh yeah. Mm-hmm. So let's see if this goes through more than just the first couple images. Alright, here we come. It's gonna give us more images? No. No, it's here. There we go. Let's see if that knocked it out of its little loop. So, like a lot of people have said, there was a lot of AI, a lot of robots, a lot of AI robots. A lot of children companions, like read some books and I guess spies on them. I don't know. I don't have kids. How do we get back to that? God bless America, land that I love. Alright. Go away. Image slideshow, you have failed me. Sources. Window capture, add source, new source, add source. You know, yes. I mean, I understand the idea behind it is that, you know, if you want like a child like monitor to make sure that kids are not dying or something, I don't know. Basically, we are giving over most of the duties that parents used to perform by hand to robots. This is just a fact. I mean, that is how the world has worked for years. I mean, it was the TV, and well, first it was radio, then it was TV. Then it was computers. Now it's just AI because it's just a smarter computer. Well, potentially. I mean, nanny cams. It's just kind of all that rolled into one, and with the Teddy Ruxpin built in. Hey, what's going on, man? We were just talking CES while I am building or rebuilding the Split 70 with some glorious pandas, because why not? How are you doing today, man? Actually, let's do it. I was not going to do it, but I kind of want to take this up a notch. It was full of robots. We were talking about a lot. There were a lot of AI companion robots for kids that would like read them stories and spy on them and do things like that. Make sure they weren't killing themselves or each other. So this is Kikobo Violet on Cream. And I think I should be able to build it with this. Yeah. I'll need to figure out something for the macros, but yeah, pretty much most of it was robots and AI robots. Um, but among them, there were a lot of the consumer grade keyboard makers. So again, I was able to go because Epomaker not only invited me. Why? What? But they also. Why am I key short? Alright, you come back. Oh. Oh, interesting. Weird design. I bought one keyboard from the Gateron booth, so they didn't have to bring it back. And that was the Varmillo Muse 65 Asgard edition, which is an older Hall effect board. One of those boards that used installable software and had Gateron dual rail whites in it. But I also, with that, from them, picked up a full 90 set of Gateron J Delta switches. So that's actually going to be next week's stream. Will be me doing a quote-unquote unboxing. I say that because obviously they unboxed it and used it and other people touched it and stuff. But I'll be doing an unboxing of that and rebuilding it with the Jades. And I am excited for that. I was showing off earlier. I got the Haimu Moonlight rubber dome switches. For the for my Mons Geek. Wait, nope. You're not going to be the right one at all, are you? For my Mons Geek M1, and then I have Osume horoscope on it with those, and so it's mostly silent stealth gaming keyboard with horoscope theme. Nice. BB, where's my B? Oh, there it is. Bottom corner. And earlier I was showing off the KeyGeek Y3X switches, which I received recently. I have a bottom layer. Delete. I thought I did. We'll just go with the end. space bars. It's like, do I have the wrong size space bars? They use 2 of the same size space bars. They suck. It's like we're doing that. That's a thing. So, using non-standard spacebars kind of upsets me, but we'll go with that. Okay. So this is the Split 70 with Glorious Pandas and Kikobo Violet on Cream, or VOC. I'm not very good at this. I mean, I actually think that the violet on cream works on this board with the black. And then if we plug it in, you can see the glorious, glorious RGB. Actually, this gives off more RGB than it did with the Wisteria switches. Now, these Wisteria switches actually feel really nice. I just was trying a little bit of a tactile on here. I will actually probably build these into something else or put them back in here. But yeah, and again, for those of you who missed it earlier, you can disconnect this, pull this out. This side still works, and now you have your gaming setup. So you can do your gaming like this. You've got your 4 function or macro keys here. Pretty much everything. Like you've seen, like even Epomaker now sells a keyboard that is just this side. But I mean, in this case, you can pull that out, and now you've got a full keyboard. You can put it back together and still have a full keyboard, and probably type better. I mean, there's this break in the middle, which sucks, and then you'll still be dealing with double Bs. Yeah, I think I have the same problem with Glorious Pandas that I have with every other mid, because this is really the first time I've built a board with these key switches. It's not as bad, but if your bump is in the middle, it feels wobbly to me, and it's not a fault of the switch. The switch itself is actually pretty good for stem wobble. There's a little lateral stem wobble, but not really any up and down stem wobble to speak of on these. Some Glorious switches are alright. This is one of them. They're Crystal Pandas, which is a box I'm actually a big fan of. right. So, yeah, so CES. Let me see if I can. I'm going to bring up some other images. I think everybody has. Oh, I need a keyboard. At least need half a keyboard. I think everybody's seen most of the recent Unzi stuff. Got to see the Nape Pro over at the Keychron booth. Oh, there we go. Let's see. Ah, it's too big. Unzi's new typewriter keyboard. Their new 1800 with a screen. But here's the Keychron Nape Pro, which sits. It's supposed to sit below, so it sits here, so that you can just do that and then click it on either side. Yeah, apparently my image slideshow can only show like 5 images. So, you feel. How best to show that to you? I know. Let's do this. There you go. Alright, so here's the Nape Pro. They have it all sitting vertically, which I guess it can sit on this side, and you could move it and manipulate it like that. But I saw people operating it down at the bottom, which is kind of neat. Kind of a neat idea for me, almost like a trackpad. And then they had their new K2HE, which is an all-wood keyboard. but not just all wood. They also had a marble. So this is a marble bottom with their ceramic keycaps on it, which was kind of an interesting, very muted experience to type on. I thought that the all wooden keyboard, which apparently, does it say it on here? It says wood frame. It's not the same walnut as every other board. It is a different wood, if I remember correctly. But more importantly, for the people out there who are interested in Hall Effect, this is a TMR board. So it comes with the nebula switches, but you'll be able to hopefully use your standard other switches because it will alternate the polarity. They announced a partnership with Pi. I don't know what that is, but whatever it is, they seemed very happy about it. Let's look up what Pi is. P-Y-I-E. Oh. Where is my... I need to connect the two halves. There we go. Pi, a future-ready technology and design-driven innovation ecosystem backed by Intex. What does that mean? How about just putting in... Apparently it is... Oh, India. They're bringing tech to India. Okay. Well, that's good for them. Here is a the resin keyboard that they were showcasing. So I've seen other Akko did a resin keyboard, I think, a while ago, and then they had a concrete keyboard, also Hall Effect, also TMR. So all of their new stuff is going to be TMR, which is great to hear. It's probably going to mean that their old stuff is going to become forsaken. So that was Keychron, and that was probably the best items there that I saw. Moving over to Aula, they have their new flagship boards. Some really interesting back designs, which Owl has kind of been going with, man. They've been going hard on some of this design stuff of the cases. It's all still basically made of plastic, but very, very neat looking. This was one of their more fun designs. So this back, or this clear plastic frame came off, and you can put Lego stuff on the inside. Considering that it's like 1 to 2 Lego space things and not very tall, it's very kitschy, but a little fun. Here's a better image of the back, so you can see what I'm talking about. It's like you can't even stand up a full minifig in there, so I don't. You could leave the cover off and have minifigs galore, or build up. This is another one of their new designs, which, you know, I thought the keycap set was kind of interesting. Not really my vibe, but it's colorful. Let's see. Speaking of colorful, oh, robot wearing a panda hoodie. People love that. One of the many examples of the AI robots. Radio Shack was at CES. You heard me. So the Akko Mons Geek booth didn't really have too much in the way of new stuff. There was this keyboard, but it's still basically their what is it? Their 5098 or 5100 set or keyboard, but with a new color frame and different keycaps. I mean, they've got a new generation of that. This is their walnut board. I mean, they're still showcasing their Dragon keyboard, which, I mean, that came out like 2 years ago. The Gem is one of their new ones they recently announced, and it was nice. I didn't like this badge right here. The new Timeline keycap set. Really neat. This is the... What's up, Beast Mode? I'm just kind of going through some of the snaps that I took from CES. This is the Key Talk booth. So this is the keycaps. This is a Field 75 board, but this is the V1. We'll get to the V2 of that later on if we keep going through this. But they were putting basically all of their keycaps onto Newfie boards, which I thought was funny. And then, but they did have some interesting new designs. I was pretty inspired by this keycap set and thought it would look neat. Even though it's kind of a beige-ish set, which you'd like, Beast Mode. I don't know. Do you like this? Is this... Sorry, that's too much zoom. How about this? There we go. Would this be a vibe for you? Take a drink real quick before we get into my big drama of the So I was at the Key Talk booth and I was looking at their stuff and I'm like, huh, I didn't know that Key Talk did switches, and apparently they have new Hall effect switches. They're Hall effect switches, which are called Nova switches, and I'm like, wait a minute. That's not the Nova switch. I'm like, Nova switches are made by Owl Labs and look completely different. And so I was talking to the person at the booth, and he's like, yeah, I actually was just talking to their lead designer on the phone this morning about these switches, and they didn't say anything. And I'm like, that's so weird, because, yeah. So apparently Keytalk and Keyspire make their own Hall effect switches, which are also called Nova switches, not to be confused with the Owl Labs ones, which are gray with a teal stem, and come with their new Sonic keyboards and the drop-in kit for the Neo 65. And this is me at the Daru, looking at some of their boards, but I wanted to point out this guy. I love this. I love this design. The entire top lifts like a hood, and the PCB sits in pogo connectors. There is another one which we'll look at. Well, here's a different image of it. So you can see the hinge mechanism here. The knob, which drops down on its own pogos and drops into the board itself, and that's what it uses. But this one, which is their little 65 or 75%, is interesting, but they actually have another one where there is a button. Oh yeah. They had that too. That right there. And that is actually a magnetic and uses essentially QI charging. So basically it's just a round flat piece and you just slap it on, charges, grabs on to where it needs to be with the magnets, and so it sucks it into the right position. No fuss, no muss. If it works, it should work great. You can see mine right here, which is what I use, and this is the Ajaz. But it, yeah, no, I love the idea of that particular thing, and I wanted to reach out to them actually and see if, because they were one of the companies that were kind of interested in working with me. And then there is the new Iqnix boards, which I got a chance to see and work with. Their new boards, they had their existing stuff, which I had only been able to see on like this is my first time working with them, and they really are really nice. And then they added a 96. Yeah. So here's the 96, but it's a condensed 96, so there's no exploded. There's only the one U. I mean, I wouldn't kick it out of bed for eating crackers, but it's not as good as the new Newfie, which I had a chance to take a look at. One of the Icunix interesting designs is this guy. Not convenient for desk space, but and it's a flat typing angle, but I thought it was a really interesting design. And then here's their EV63, the one that we had in the pictures earlier with the .01 minimum actuation, with the carbon fiber panel on the front. So good luck getting a wrist rest to work with it. But overall, I kind of like the design. Their MG75 Pro. And then, of course, like I was saying, I spoke to Gateron and picked up these switches. These are their magnetic jade delta switches, as well as they had... well, they had a lot. I mean, obviously they had a lot of switches. The rubies, they have a sapphire now, which is nice. Their new keyboard, I had a chance to take a look at. But I tried to get that, but they had given it away to one of their other partners that was at the... I'm guessing it was probably Hipio. I don't know. But I picked up the Varmillo from their booth. The Varmillo Muse 65 Asgard edition. So we'll be looking at that next week, actually. I don't know if y'all are interested in networking, but these guys are really, this is GL iNet, which do cellular routers for your equipment, for like people you have in the field. Super interesting for my day job. And then there was... oh, this is fun. Well, let's not get that guy. So they asked people to write on different types of stickers based on what your job is, what you are looking forward to for AI in the coming year. And there were a lot of interesting responses. Some of my favorites were Industrial Revolution, free up time for creative thinking. That's not actually going to happen. Oh, come on. Where's the good ones? Code Monkey. Unemployed workers, which obviously is going to happen with AI. Less jobs, generation gap. I mean, if they'd have written smaller, they could have written a novel like this person did. But no. They're just going to put less jobs, generation gap. I don't know what that means. Why write generation gap? What are they trying to tell us here? I don't know. That's the same one. Quicker, faster, leaner, but better? Anyway, they had a lot of different fun ones. Like optimized food manufacturing, free food for all. Like that would ever happen. I'm only in a candy store. Okay. One of the other robots, they put a smiley face on it so that you'll be less threatened by it. You should be threatened by it. Most of the robots were still on hooks. They've given this one 6 legs so that it can be more like a spider or an insect. There's this guy who was determined to stay in character. But this was a theater that they put up in the thing. Jackery. Mova has their own new interesting 3D printers. I got to hang out with a Formula 1 racer. So here's the Node. And the reason why I like the Node better, and some people will like it because it has a 2U0. I like it because there's a small break here. I mean, I don't mind this break either, but this break is going to be important. And I like the lighting. Most of the other stuff was pretty straightforward. They have their new Halo 75 V2. Freya was fascinated with this folding case. So you can set your tablet on here and then just fold it, take it out, and fold it up. The new Halo, well, it's not new. Their wrist rest. Then there was the kick. New knob for the kick that was actually a knob instead of a square. Let's move that. But there, to my surprise, was a new Field V2. That's coming out, which is interesting because I thought that the Field, which I like, by the way, I like their darker one a little bit better, but that was kind of interesting. But yeah, that was most of my time at CES. We glanced at the robots and stuff, but that wasn't really what I was there for, so I was there for keyboards. By gum, I was gonna get them. while I was, well, actually right after I got back, we ended up getting a delivery. And that is going to be the focus of the rest of my stream. So I guess the quick question I had was, does anybody have any questions about this? The Split 70. This is by Epomaker. Again, it's kind of neat. You can... I have Glorious Pandas in here right now. With the Kikobo Violet on Cream. You can operate it with just the one side. So if you're doing your gaming for your first-person shooter and you don't need the rest of the board, I know Epomaker has another one of these. What? I got them for free. They're not bad. Actually, the Wisteria switches that came in it, which are a 45 gram actuation. This is the V2 of that switch. I like the V1, and I think I like the V2 at least as much. And might use them in something else. Well, I also got a complete set of PBT Fans Neon R2 from the same person. And so she just wanted to get rid of stuff. She's like, I'm not using it. I might as well just get rid of it. And so she brought it. And I'm like, you know, I've wanted to try the Glorious Pandas. I like the Glorious Crystal Pandas. Oh. My Mons Geek M1. I have Haimu Moonlight Rubber Dome Hall effect switches in here. For your quiet gaming. I'm a big fan with the Osume. So that's the first switches that I was looking at, but we're going to change the keycaps on here too. But the switches that I was really looking forward to were these. These are the HMX T-Rex switches. Oh, how did you like the HE board? I don't know if that really helps you at all. It's not going to. I don't know why I do that. Because other people do that. And if somebody jumped off a bridge, I'd join them. But anyway, I digress. So, so this is Gateron Smoothies in here right now. Nice. I'm a fan. Well, I mean, that's the good thing about the M1 is that that board accepts mechanical and Hall effect. So if I wanted to make that into a mechanical keyboard, all I would have to do is pull out the existing switches and put in mechanical switches. Great. I'm gonna put this away instead of just making more stuff I have to put away later. So this is a KCA profile die sub. I made it for the meetup yesterday, and because there were people that were talking about ReZero Rim, specifically the character, and so I'm like, hey, I have a keycap set for that. I've never seen it. But I like the little flower spacebar and the leaf motif. I love blue, and this keycap set also comes in pink for RAM as a thing. But so I built this out for the meetup yesterday. I took it, and I don't remember if anybody who was talking about this actually showed up. But the other switches I got yesterday were the or not yesterday, but the other day were the KeyGeek Y3X switches. And we can look at those again, but I had installed them into my QK80 Mark II, which I liked. By the way, if you like any of my content, feel free to like and subscribe. I love Amazon subscriptions because it's free money. And who doesn't like free money? So I was talking to somebody earlier who was asking me about the T-Rex switches, and I asked them if there's a board they would like to see me put them in, and they said the agar. And so I am going to build it into the agar. But near as I can tell, the T-Rex switches, which are a 20 cents a switch, seems like a complete banger out of the box. If you're looking for some switches, and we'll see what they sound like, but at a price point of 20 cents a switch, how can you go wrong? What was the HE board that you ended up typing on? Do you know? Want to share? Because that could make a difference. I mean, if you typed on a crappy HE keyboard. It could just ruin your experience. Because I know my first HE board that I typed on was the Santorini by Akko. And those old Akko creamy yellow, or no, the Sakura. They were just poopy. But that board was also South Pole facing. So, as spoopy as it was, that's all you had at the time, really, because you couldn't put anything like Jades in there. Because they just wouldn't work. I did discover recently. Oh, the Made 68 Pro Plus. Yeah, there's a lot of them. Okay, so yeah, here's the smoothies. We're gonna pop these bad boys off. Hopefully. Oh, this is one of the handier things that I picked up at CES. It's a combination keycap puller, switch puller on the back side, and then switch opener on the inside, which was available. This is a Gateron. I think that there are knockoffs. Well, what do you think about the new Zoom 64 that I fully intend on purchasing when it finally comes out? But you like your Zoom 98, don't you? What did it for you? What was the straw that broke the camel's back? And did it have the name Nama in front of it? Because I like the Nama. I'm just gonna go on record. I don't care who hears me say it. I think the Nama is an interesting design, and I totally get it. Totally get their design aesthetic, or at least it makes sense in my head, even if it's not what they're going for. Oh, well, you have 3 Zoom 75s. You must have liked it to get 3 of them. I was showing off Freya's Tiga earlier. We did a sound test because somebody wanted to hear a sound test from the Tiga. And yeah, she loves it. She is gaga for her Tiga. Come on, you. Closer I get to the end, the more the plate wants to come up instead of releasing the switch. Because the plate friction fits to the PCB by way of the switches. So if there are no switches, bye-bye. Alright, so this is the polycarbonate plate. I could also build this with an aluminum plate. But you would need to speak up because I have been designing a keyboard. Either a FRL 1800 or an FRL 1800 40%. Well, 40-ish%. Essentially no numro, but numpad. Yeah, Freya has been fighting something off. I haven't caught anything yet. That sucks though, man. That actually happened to me once. I was supposed to start a new job, and what was it? 3 days before I was supposed to start that new job, I got an ear infection, and it destroyed my equilibrium, and I couldn't move without throwing up. That that was awful. Probably one of, not the worst, but one of the worst ear infections that I've ever had. The worst ear infection was when I was a child, and it was so painful, all I could do was cry. And I don't know if you know this or not, but redheads, and I am a redhead even though if I'm bald, which you can't see right now because my camera's not working. Redheads are resistant to drugs. So the pain meds that they would assign me would wear off about 2/3 of the way, like completely wear off about 2/3 of the way before I could take more. So that was, I was taking it, I think, like every 8 hours. So basically 5 hours in, I would have absolutely no painkillers anymore. I let them know. I mean, they were understanding. I didn't get paid, obviously, because I had no sick time. But they just let me start a week later. Now, mine was an ear infection, so it's not like I was going to be spreading that around. Flu and flu-like items are a different beast, because you could bring that into the office and suddenly, depending on the flu, now you've single-handedly brought down your entire department. Which in an appointment-based business sucks. Yeah, it's best just to let them know as soon as possible. So I kind of like the coloring on the HMX T-Rex. This kind of light blue. Kind of a lighter blue, but reminiscent of the V1 Swift switches. What do y'all think? So that could either A, mean that everybody in the office will be immune to your illness, or B, you could bring in a new flu and suddenly they're going through it all over again. Alright, so we have our switches in. I was going to put, because I thought it kind of matched the switches, Asume Kanagawa. Yeah, let's do that. I was thinking about maybe also Striker. But I think Striker would be too dark for this build. I keep all the stuff from these. So if you ever buy Asume, especially Asume keycaps for me, you're going to get everything with it, except for Night Market. Because I used the sticker from my Night Market. I put it on something. yeah, that goes really well. Why do I match my switches to my keycaps? Well, and to my boards. Well, let me tell you. Especially in this case. In this particular case, once it's built, since it's clear polycarbonate, you can actually tilt it up and you can actually see the switches underneath. But you can also normally see the switches underneath, not to mention if there is RGB involved, not on this board, but if there is RGB involved, the switches, depending on the color and how strong a color they are, will tint the RGB in subtle and often not great ways. I'm sorry to hear that you have the flu. What are you taking anything for it? And question, did you get the flu shot? Because, I mean, obviously the flu shot is only good for about, what? So many, 8 or 10 strains of influenza. So you can always get a different flu. Like Jimmy Durante used to say, I got a million of them. Ah, cha, 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 cha. Nobody knows who that is. He was the guy from the old Frosty the Snowman cartoon. Here, here, you are. Here. I mean, I tend not to get the flu shot because I tend to react extremely badly towards it. Freya gets her flu shot every year. And I'm not averse to getting the flu shot, and I recommend that people do. Just like I recommend that people get their COVID re-ups. You, and then the alts. I don't think it's a conspiracy. I don't think it's bad. I just react badly to it. And it doesn't protect from all the flus, because it really can't yet. And so I just don't bother. My doctor were to tell me I that he is scheduling me for a flu shot, I'd be like, okay. No fighting, no fuss, no muss. I would just be like, okay, I'll do it. Because you said so. Anything you want me to take? You need me to take some 5G? I'll take some 5G. Alright. So here we go. Drop it in. Alright. Easy peasy. Speaking of RGB. All right, here we go. Let's go. I don't know. I just do that. Reminds me of Jason Mendoza from The Good Place. All right, so we will go ahead and pause the music. And this is the HMX T-Rex inside the polycarbonate agar with a polycarbonate plate with Osume Kanagawa keycaps. Die sub PBT. I mean, I like it. I think, first of all, let's try it just without case foam. I mean, it's a solid switch. But I think in this case, you go on the side. Remember earlier when I was asking about the aluminum plate, and y'all all said, no, no, don't do it. I think y'all were wrong. Not the right? Yes. Okay. Now look where we are. Now I got to take this whole thing apart, take out the foams, put in the alu plate, run this whole thing foamless. Just for you guys, because y'all are the best. What am I doing? Where's my thing? Oh. Hide it? I hit it. I hit it. Okay. Not that I really need to worry about. I can absolutely hear it in your voice. Taking a drink. Can't see it this time, but I am drinking Coca-Cola Zero. Not sponsored, but I would take their money if they offered it. Okay. Oh, what do y'all think of the music, by the way? Trying something a little different again. Still trying to find that magic combination. Nope. we're getting closer and closer to our, well, definitely drink water. And don't forget electrolytes. It's what plants crave. Thanks to me taking Preservision, I am taking like 600 milligrams of vitamin C a day, not counting whatever is in my actual vitamins. So I'm good there. Tea's good if you like tea. You should try to drink non-caffeinated tea if possible, because an important part of recovery is rest. And if you drink a bunch of caffeine, unless your chemical makeup specifically is around letting you sleep with caffeine in your system, like mine is, you know, you drink a bunch of tea and you're like, oh, this is good for me, and then like you don't sleep, and the next thing you know, 3 days later, go see the doctor. That's a different, that's a doctor for a different thing, if you are familiar with that song at all, which is Lord Cool Mo D. Alright, maybe not Lord. Sir Cool Mo, maybe not. Cool Mo D Esquire. No. How about Mr. Cool Mo D? We'll go with Mr. Cool Mo D. Trying to think, like black teas have caffeine and green teas don't, or vice versa. I don't know. I would ask Schmoogle. One thing you and Cool Mo D have in common is he goes to work. Which is another song by Cool Mo D. Of course, he goes to work like a doctor. When he rocks the mic, you've got to like the way he operates. He makes miracles happen just from rapping. I'm sure he is happy that I just did that. And by happy, I mean it made him sad, I'm sure. Oh, don't tell me I gotta cut it. Oh, bastard. You get out of here. Along with you. You stay together. So this is the black alu plate, and this is the black alu plate right side up. Right side up. Interesting. Black alu plate's kind of stiff. Anyway, let's see. Should be able to drop this in here now. Boop, 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 and boop. All right. Move that out of the way. All right. I'll be here. Come on. Wow. So I'm taking bets right now. Do you think I'm going to like this, hate this, or really hate this? All right, let's see here. All right, here we go. All right, so we have this completely foamless Korean honey citron tea. Well, that sounds healthy-ish, I guess. Completely foamless with an aluminum plate. And let's go ahead and do some sound testing, shall we? Let's just put in the meager foam. Oh, except for that is backwards. There we go. That's better. Maybe I'll think that this is stupendous. I mean, I don't hate it. All right. Ah, you made it. All right. So here is the here it is, T-Rex switches. T-Rex switches. All right. This is case foam only, polycarbonate body. Let's pop out the case foam. Doesn't change that much. It's less plasticky with the foam. Let's try it. Where are you at? You're behind me. You're directly behind me. Okay. Hey, funny story. Yeah, this phone broke. So here it is in the aluminum agar body. No, it just... So there was one dangly bit. And... No, I don't know what I just did with it. Oh, there it is. So it broke right here. Just right here. This entire piece was separate. And when I grabbed it, it got caught on something and broke. I recently got the polycarbonate agar from somebody on Mech Market because I wanted to be able to run my EC board and my Alu board at the same time. So here is the same switches, aluminum body, no foams. No foams. Maybe. There is some resonance here. I'm going to try putting in the case foam now. See if I can get rid of a little bit of that resonance. Yeah. I would say this is a sound that I could like. I think that, I mean, foamy is still my go-to, and I think I would still probably go back to foams. Or at least the plate foam. I don't know. I need to think on it. You're out. You are back in. Don't set that on there. Master the adept. That is a dumb idea. Yeah, see this little piece here is supposed to come up here. It doesn't really do its thing. Let's back in here for a sec. Like, there's nothing that keeps this in place, and it just wants to fall down. It's just... There should have been a piece along here, at least, to stop it from trying to do that. And then there is this, silent. Anyway. Uh, goes back up there. I might try it foamless with the polycarbonate plate. Because I think that might actually be interesting. Because I was thinking about doing the same thing with the Margot, which I put new switches in. I mean, this does give it a bunch more bounce, I can tell you that. At least the polycarbonate, I've noticed on some of the boards, the polycarbonate ends up with a kind of a sour tone to it. But let's see. Oh, do I have another whole rebuild in me? Oof. Yeah, why not? Why not? You go over here. Start the music back up. What are we doing? We're going for it. We're going to do foamless polycarbonate. Because I think that will be a sound I can get behind. Erwin, did you see the cool keycap, switch puller, switch opener? Right? Neat. Neato burrito, man. Oh no, that's fine. This is live streaming on YouTube and we'll have a VOD. It works well, yeah. I have not really had too much of a problem with it. I like it better than the rectangular ones because the rectangular one scratched my Haven 65 aluminum plate, and I was very upset because it's a color matched aluminum plate and it scratched it, and I was pissed. Yeah. I know, but you know, everything is awesome. Everything is great when you're part of a team. But I hate it when I'm responsible for doing something that screws up one of my boards. Okay. Yeah, let me know. And I will chat at you later, man. Have a good one. You can go over here. Okay. Of course, I just did it with this one, didn't I? Yep, I've just been scratching this plate up all to high heaven. Or it was scratched already, and I just didn't notice. I don't know. Which sucks because this plate is like super tight. So I'm guessing that response beast mode that you posted was from like a chat GPT or something. About the tea. Oh no, it wasn't too long. I read it. I get distracted by a keyboard. It's the thing that happens. Happens to me a lot. Kind of why I'm here. Distract myself and anyone else within earshot with a keyboard. I'm great at parties. Alright. Let's drop that original polycarbonate plate back in, because polycarbonate is where it's at, yo. Actually, let's drop in the polycarbonate and the plate foam sans PE sheet. I think that's where I'm going to land for today. That actually sounds pretty bitchin'. Kind of get rid of the PE sheet, that way it's not muting the switches as much. Because these switches are pretty mellow to start with, so... No, I am not splitting the backspace. Measurement. You're going into the hole. You too good for your home? It's like a carousel. Goes round and round and up and down. All but one. by Gots, I mean, that's all I have to say about that. Oh, thanks for the raid, man. I am putting the final touches on rebuilding my agar. Yo, man, what's up? Hope you had a good stream. Hello. We are trying out some new switches today in the polycarbonate agar. It's not a 3-day weekend for me. But yeah, it's been a pretty good weekend. So these are the HMX T-Rex switches. This is a new budget switch being sold through Unikeys. And they are 20 cents a switch. And we're just dropping it into the agar polycarbonate, and we'll drop it into the aluminum as well, just to see. This is this is plate foam only, so okay. Yeah, man, have a good one. I love the agar. I love the agar so much. It is one of the few boards, maybe the only board that I own 2 of. Because, oh, thanks for the follow, man. Oh, thanks for the sub. Yay. Because of, I have the EC. This is the one I had first, which was the aluminum. And then I purchased both the EC PCB and the MX PCB with it, and so I had I was switching them out because they use different daughter boards. So I had to switch out the daughter board every time I wanted to go from EC back to mechanical and reverse. But I got tired of that. So I found somebody on Mech Market who was selling the polycarbonate one. And I'm like, well, you know, that means that I'll have a polycarbonate and I'll have an aluminum and I'll have one that's EC and I'll have one that's mechanical. And so that's... So that's kind of the idea behind me having two of them. I'll just switch it. Right, exactly. And they're budget friendly, so so while the this actually, I think the aluminum sounds a bit better, although it sounds a little bit more hollow. Let's see if we add in our plate foam, our case foam. How are we doing then? It's a good sounding switch. It's kind of quiet, but it's still got that HMX crispness to it. Let's go ahead and let's compare some switches here. Since I have a few just lying around on my desk. So these are Gateron Smoothies. This is what I was rocking in here previously. And these are the brand new Epomaker Wisteria V2 switches. So this is the T-Rex. These are the Smoothies. And this is the Wisteria. These are pretty similar, with the T-Rexes being a little bit higher pitched and of course having that solid sound of HMX. What else do we got? These are the Kiki Klein Klein Blue. Here's the T-Rex. Here's the Klein Blue. And the Wisteria. I mean, I kind of like the Wisteria. Maybe the most. These are quiet but mellow. I think they really work in here. But these are a bit more pronounced. T-Rex are louder. But even though it's louder, do you like it more? That's what I'm trying to decide. Which I don't have to decide right now. Just kind of switch thinking out loud. I kind of like the Wisteria more too. The Wisteria, which came in the Epomaker 70, which is fun because you can operate just one half of the board. Sorry, not split 70. Here, let me show you. Currently, this has Glorious Pandas in it, which I was just experimenting because somebody gave me some Holy Panda or some Glorious Pandas yesterday. Here. Which I think I like the Wisterias better in here as well. But this is kind of a neat board because you can go ahead and operate just this half. So if you're gaming, you have your WASD, you've got 4 macro keys, your 1 through 6 for your weapon changes. This is all you need. They actually, to that end, they actually started selling a keyboard that is just this half. But why do that? I mean, this, if you're going to do that, just get the split and use it, and it's only 115 pre-built with decent die sub and the Wisteria switches. But anyway, I don't really see the point of it. All right. Y'all actually caught me at the tail end of my stream. I was just experimenting a little bit more with some different switches and finishing up this build. So I hate to leave you, and I like the fact that y'all showed up, but my dinner is about to arrive at any moment. These are the Osume Kanagawa. This is Cam Super User. Cam Super User is on an EC build. Can't really hear it. And we'll switch those back. It still has resonance in it. Alright, but that is neither here nor there. Let's go ahead and put this in here. My phone broke a little, just on this little edge right here, which kind of sucks, but, you know, it still works. Alright. Nope. So on the agar, you have to switch the daughter boards in order to switch from EC to hey, that's my dinner. From EC to mechanical. So keep that in mind if you're interested in having that, which is part of the reason why I got a second agar. And I think I mentioned that already at least once. I don't know if y'all were here for that, so I'm just mentioning it again. And then, of course, the polycarbonate has the underglow, which comes out really nice when you're looking at it from the top down. It just illuminates any edge that is hitting up against something. So like all here. It's just nice. I recommend the agar. Let's see. Is there somebody else? Or was I the only one? Whoa. Nope. It looks like I'm the only one. Let's see if anybody... I know you raid Chibi. She's playing some Hollow Knight. Why she didn't show up on my list here? Beyond me. No, because my eye doesn't work. My eye doesn't work. Because I bent the pin. All right. Thanks anybody who stuck around, anybody who joined me late, and just everybody. I love having you all here. I'll be streaming next week. Probably, I'll be taking a look at the Varmillo Muse 65 Hall Effect board, and maybe even building a Salvation. So, thanks for joining me, and yeah, y'all are all awesome, and I appreciate you all. Have a great one. Bye.
Is that a raid? Oh shit,
Oh
it is.
shit, it is.
Hold up,
Hold
one
up
moment.
one moment.
Okay.
Okay.
Phew.
Phew.
Adapt, thank you
Thank
so
you
much
so
for
much
the
for the
raid.
raid.
Welcome in, raiders. Oh god,
my.
What were you up
What were
to
you up
today?
to
Were
today?
you building
Were you
a
building
keyboard?
a keyboard?
And thank you for
And
the
thank you
taxes.
for the taxes.
Welcome. For those of you that don't know me, hi, nice to meet you. My name is Phoebe. I am a variety streamer, and I'm currently fighting a boss in Polonic Silk Song. And so yeah, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, please feel free to head out if you have anything you gotta take care of. I totally get it. Go for it. But anyone who'd like to stick around and hang out is more than welcome to do so. I'm not exactly sure how much longer we'll be going. Probably just until I finish this boss. I don't know how long that'll take though. Yeah, look at Split 70 and looking at new switches. Ooh. Yeah, enjoy your dinner. Thank you so much for the raid. I really appreciate it. Thank you.